it's Lynk Plays Games. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to our life. So we're going on to the next moment, which is dinner then road trip. And I have a feeling a road trip is what I mentioned before. So sunlight shone through the windows as you sat in your living room. Home phone pressed against your ear. Cove was on the other end. God, you can tell this is an old game because it mentions a home phone. Something, you know, kids now don't know nothing about. My mom still has a home phone. Anyways, you listened silently as he kept talking, his words stilted. Just wondering if you wanted to come over to my house for dinner tonight. Your eyes widened a little. You hadn't expected this to be the reason behind the call. Yeah, I'll go. It seemed that Cove still had more to say. You just interrupted him. Oops. Uh-oh. My mom and dad, they really want you to be there. If your parents don't have a problem with it, they asked me to ask you. You took a moment to think. Dinner at home would be quiet and uneventful today. If you really wanted to, you could go to Cove's instead. Before Cove spoke up again, breaking your train of thought, his voice was softer than before. Also, I want you to be there too. Can you come over, I mean? Yeah, I can come. Thanks, I'll let them know when I can. Okay. Alrighty, soon enough the sun dipped down out of the sky and evening came. It was time for you to head to Cove's house. After letting Elizabeth know you were leaving, she didn't look away from the TV. Alrighty. As you waited for an answer, you found yourself contemplating being a guest while both of Cove's parents were there. You're just there to be the mediator. That's it. It was exciting. The idea made you curious. You didn't think it'd be anything especially interesting. You couldn't say you were thrilled. It was exciting. You had thought today was going to be boring, but it turned out to be much more interesting. You didn't get too much time with your thoughts, though. Alright. Alright, please come on in. Alrighty. She opened up the door wider to make room. You stepped inside. Oh, it's pretty. Thanks so much for coming over. I know it was kind of last second. Thanks for having me. Of course, just make yourself at home. It's not my home, but I've been given permission to say that. Alright, welcome to our humble abode. Alright. He's cooking? You know what? Okay, yeah, I could see it. I could see him being, like, more so the one who cooks versus Cove's mom. I just feel like she's like the, let's go out to eat, let's go grab, like, fast food or something. True to his word, you heard something sizzling on the stove. Ooh, smelled spicy and savory. Alright, so Cove was nowhere to be seen. While I've been barred from cooking the entire time I'm staying here, can you believe that? Okay, so they're getting along, so that's great. You're on vacation, you need to accept that already. People still cook while they're on vacation, everyone's gotta eat. It's not like I'm a celebrity who can go out for every meal or hire a private chef. Well, in this house you're a VIP. Well, look at that, look at, oh. And everyone was so concerned they were gonna kill each other. Alright. Okay, now she's being petty. Okay. I don't butt in. He wasn't exactly disproving her point with that. Yeah. Okay, so she leaned over to whisper to you. It's okay, he likes to be included. But since Clifford insisted on cooking all by himself, he'll have to wait. The two of us can chat. Let's see. Doing good. Oh, I'm okay. Things are okay. Not really sure. I'm doing good. She opened her mouth to say something more, but some lightly pounding footsteps caught your attention. He invited you over, told you when to be there, and then he was just sitting there hiding? Like you... Ugh, rude. Oh my god. Anyways. Yeah, I'm fine. He didn't sound convincing at all. You narrowed your eyes suspiciously, but didn't call him out on it. Oh, I would've. I would have. If you could talk to him alone tonight, maybe you'd ask him what was going on then. Anyways. Are we having dinner now? Not yet, still cooking? Okay, I'm gonna go back to my room. You coming?
You coming?
Bold, okay? Like, bold to be like right in front of your parents and turn to the person you like that you invited over for dinner and be like, hey, come with me to my room. Like, deadass, the first time that happened with me and Will, I was just like, I guess, yeah. It was so awkward. I'm an awkward person. Okay. So anyways. Oh, look at the parents being so sweet. Anyways, so let me bring myself back up here. With that, you followed after Cove. This was the first time you were invited to see Cove's room. You'd visited Cove's room before, but only rarely. Standard occurrence. First time. Alright. Because, I mean, in the game, I haven't actually seen his room. So we'll just say it's the first time. Crunch of sand beneath your feet. Ugh. Didn't even sweep. Wow. Alright. Sand was clustered around the entrance. You even spotted smaller amounts of it dusting the rest of the floor's room. Though you hadn't anticipated it, you weren't surprised at the sight of all the... Of course, Beach Boy Cove Holden would get his room all sandy. Anyways, there's stuff you can sit on if you want to. Okay, so you could either sit in the desk chair, or you could sit on his bed with him. Are you trying to make your own beach with all the sand? No, I'm not gonna do that. Alright. Sorry, I'm messing with this box under my setup. Anyways, I guess we'll sit with Cove. I mean, considering he randomly, like, came into our room through the window, or my room through the window, and sat on my bed without warning. So, I mean... What? Boy. They're like an open book, you know that, right? Anyways, how long have we had those fish? Alright. Most of them were small, but there was a especially large one, or big one. What are their names? I don't name them, well, not really. I just call them things based on what they look like. Tangerine for a really orange one, that sort of thing. A lot of fish, I'm not good with coming up with names. Found that surprising. After all these years, he still had trouble naming his fish. That sounded easy to you. A couple of them have other types of names. My dad named her Dreamcatcher, and that other one's Mark. Mom came up with that one. Mark? Okay. You let other people name your fish? Nice. Do you want to name one? Sure. There's a few who don't have names right now, the newer ones. You can pick which one you want to name. Alright. The first was the smallest fish in the tank. Completely orange and zipped all over the place, running laps around the others. Second was slightly bigger and red. Its tail was dotted with black spots, which almost resembled freckles. Last fish was the biggest one. Multicolored scales rippled all over in the bright light. Okay. You went with, click one. Okay, Cove only nodded at your answer. I don't even know what I clicked. Waiting for you to decide on a suitable name. You watched the fish you chose closely. As you did, a name eventually came to you. Sunbeam. You name things like my dad. Alright, it's Sunbeam. I don't even know which one I named. With that, his attention now moved from you to the tank. Alright. Maybe it's the one that was zipping all over the place. Because I was like up in here somewhere. So it was either the first or second one. Alright. This close, your shoulders were almost brushing against each other. You know, I'm not even allowed to have pets in my house, not even fish. That doesn't sound fair. It's not like a fish would make a mess of your house or anything. You just gotta take care of their tanks. I don't mind it too much. I don't want a fish. Cats are better. You have to do so much for a pet. It's a lot of work and responsibility. That's why they don't want to just get one. Anyways. One time, Lizzie came back from playing at the beach, just shut herself in her room. She came down for food, then she ran back upstairs straight after. Then at night, Mom went to her room to say goodnight and started screaming. Lizzie had this huge lizard in her arms. A lizard? Where did that come from? She saw it half buried in the sand and didn't know what it was. Then she pulled it out and got the answer, so she brought it home. She hid the lizard in her room for most of the day because she wanted to keep it. They worried about putting it out during the night, but she was gonna have to let it go in the morning. She did bring it back to the beach eventually, but she wouldn't talk to anyone for days. Oh my god. Anyways. I can't even imagine what it would be like to have a sibling. It's a nice idea in general, but my sister's Elizabeth. If that is not me with my little sister. When someone goes, what's it like having a little sister? I mean, in theory, it's nice. Like, you know, TV stuff and, like, fairy tale things. You know, in theory. And then you have an actual little sister. And they just drive you crazy. Maybe if I had someone else as my sibling, I'd like having one more. That's interesting. I think your family's cool. Alright. They were the best. Anyways. Oh! Oof. The thought prompted you to look over at Cove. You probably still didn't know that happened. Oh my god. You didn't tell him it was a bad time. You didn't tell him you weren't sure how he'd react. You didn't tell him secrets were meant to be kept. You didn't tell him you just didn't want to have that talk with Cove. Don't tell him. That's just rude. Oh my god, why would you wait until like your teenage years to be like, so yeah, your dad paid me to be a friend? Ouch. Anyways, eventually you heard a muffled holler from a different part of the house.
Oh.
Time for dinner. Alrighty. It's been awkward. You felt sympathetic towards him. You didn't know what he was going through, but you cared about him. But okay. Cove said nothing else and remained sat where he was. Now would be a good time as any to ask him why his parents suddenly wanted you to come over. I figured I'd ask. It hasn't been awkward for just me sometimes. It gets like this when no one else is around but you're here. Huh. There was another shout from outside, too muffled to actually know the words, but you can imagine what they were. Alrighty. You followed after him. Two of you made your way back to the living room. As expected, Cove's parents were waiting for you. Food had been prepared and set. Hope everyone's hungry. I cooked up a feast. Alright.
Thanks.
Let's all just take a moment to thank our special guest for being with us here tonight. So glad you're able to make it on such short notice too. Thank you for inviting me. Alrighty. There's a large garden salad in the center surrounded by a variety of Mexican dishes. There were a lot of sides and optional sauces to add. Not a fan of Mexican food, but like I like actual like just plain tacos. But we're gonna be nice about this. 'Cause I could work with it. Alright. Let me just say, you really outdid yourself tonight. I'm so jealous. Jealous of what? Your cooking is nothing to sneeze at. Okay, so they're being so nice to each other. Is that what's awkward about it? Did it take you a long time to cook this? It's more than I usually make for me and Cove, but I enjoyed every second of it. Might have gone faster if you had some help, though. Not this again. I make the rules here, and I say guests don't cook. Even when they're staying for literal weeks. See, I'm glad that they're getting along. Waiting for your turn if someone was serving. Oh. Once the food had been divided, things settled down. Now then.
How's it going?
How's everything been over at your house? Are your moms well? Wow, 20 questions. Hello. Been keeping busy this summer, or maybe you're just trying to take it easy during the break. I would be overwhelmed by the 7 questions. I was more than happy to answer, because that's what I would do. I would cover it with being happy to answer. Just said how your parents were doing. Let's see. Alright. How things were at your house. It's been good. And things you did this summer. You should know what I've been up to since so much of it has included your family. Okay, that's wrong answer. Wrong answer. Not sure where to start. You sure are keeping yourself busy. I could learn a thing or two from you. Alright. You know, Cliff, Lynk is really into socializing.
Nice work.
Did I read that right? Oh, yeah, I read that wrong. What was it? Just hobby. It's good to have things to do for fun. Everyone needs a hobby. That's what you get for half reading, guys. Alright. You noted not for the first time that Cove's parents were the ones guiding the conversation. Brought up your own topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Alright, like conversation as you ate your meals.
Thanks.
Aww. Alright. Cove successfully kept his presence to a minimum for the full meal. It wasn't typical for him to say so little. He at least tried to participate. You didn't get much time to contemplate Cove's situation because your attention was taken. Not to sound like a broken record, but thank you for coming.
What?
This is the first time Lynk has ever had dinner here. Wow, exactly. Get him. Get him, ma'am. Cove was always the one going over to Link's house until now. I mean, how was I supposed to reject the generous offers of the Place Game family to host my kid? Uh-oh. Excuse me, what?
Excuse me, what?
Okay, that's bold. Very bold, if you're cool with that. Right? Okay, now she's just like, what you gonna be doing to my son? Alright. She glanced at you two before leaning in and bringing a hand up in front of their faces. They whispered to each other. Okay. Every now and then, the both of them would watch you and Cove out of the corner of their eyes. You snuck a look at Cove. He stared at them expectantly. You were too eager to hear their verdict, too. but we'll have to talk with Link's parents to make sure they'd be comfortable with it. If they are, we could arrange for a sleepover to happen on a different night when everyone's more prepared. But if, you know, it's not okay with them, you know, nothing we can do. They're throwing that on my parents. Dang, nothing like throwing people under the bus. Alright, so, if this was a sports game, they would have punted the ball away. Aw. Alrighty. You weren't allowed to chip in either since you were there as the declared guest of honor. Although the meal was over, the night wasn't. Okay. It was a bit strange sitting there by yourself while everyone else had something to do. Luckily, you weren't alone for too long. Okay. So who's up for a few rounds? What are we playing? Alright. She did an overhand shuffle while waiting for the others to finish their task. This is going to be good. You were excited. Ow. Acid reflux. That hurt. Anyways. Alright, I'm ready. So, you stared on, confused. He disappeared through his bedroom door. Okay. Cove doesn't keep his wallet with him when he's at home. He puts it away. Hold on, what? You all use real money on card games with family?
Yeah.
$5 per round per person. Winner takes all. This doesn't surprise me. I could see that was something she started. It started between these two, and they kept it going, and now they are dragging their kid into it, taking their kid's money. Oh.
No worries.
If Lynk wants to play, I'll fund their way in, no worry about that. He shouldn't be so confident. Ooh. Aww.
Good kid.
You're too polite for me. Alright. Don't worry too much, we'll probably do some rounds of Go Fish tonight, no biggie.
Do you mind?
Are you... They're literally gambling on Go Fish? Sure. How do you gamble with that? I was really good at it. We'll play for however long everyone wants to keep going or until people start running out of cash, but are still refusing to quit while they're behind. Speaking for yourself. Oh. These boys are sharks. Alright, you could feel the tension in the air. Alright. First round came and went quickly, the group getting into the groove of things. You won right away. which meant you had money to keep playing the second round. Alrighty. He was more focused on the game instead of being overcome with awkwardness. You won quite a few games to your delight, but you had a hefty pile of money on your side of the table. You must regret paying Link's way in now, huh? Oh. Link might be beating me, but they're also beating you too. Aww. Anyways, so they ended up giving it back to one another in other ways, not just through rounds of cards. You were glad you got this chance to come over to spend time with the three of them. Oh. That one actually went on for a while. Damn. So I'm gonna end this episode here. So let me center myself. I struggle at centering myself, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.